Hey everyone, we're here with Will from Psalm. If you don't know him, you should fucking check him out. It's this fantastic mix of shoegaze and post rock, and it's heavy and beautiful at the same time. Will, I greatly appreciate you joining me to discuss Let the Light In.
Thanks for having me, Tom. It's awesome to be here. I like the podcast a lot.
Well, thanks, dude. I greatly appreciate that. I try to mix a little bit of everything in there because I love all sorts of genres. Like, I just told you I was out in Vegas. I went
Mhm.
out for a Planet Desert Rock weekend,
Oh, nice.
which was it, there were some blues bands, heavy blues bands, I guess we would say.
Hmm.
Um, but then a lot of like desert rock and psych and shit like that. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So Let the Light In is how do I say this kindly?
Okay.
It's a fantastic, solid like piece of work.
Oh, thank you so much.
It starts so strong with Don't Look Back, and it takes you on a journey through all eight of those beautiful, beautiful fucking tracks.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear, man. You're among the first people to hear it, so we're getting feedback in real time.
Hell yeah. But I think a lot of people are going to absolutely enjoy it. And
Awesome.
I know you guys are about to hit the road. I'm super stoked for you guys to come here. You're playing at Portal, which is one of
Yeah.
my favorite venues.
Oh, nice. Very
Um,
cool. Yeah, we're really excited about the new record. We're stoked to play these songs live. We were just talking about it, how it's going to be really fun to like have some new songs in the set, have some more energy, you know? So I'm glad to hear you're
for
digging it
sure.
so far.
Hell yeah. So like going into writing Let the Light In, what was that like for you guys? What was that process like?
So usually albums kind of start where I'll have a handful of demos that I bring to the guys, and just kind of get everybody's feedback and thoughts. And then usually Joel will have a song or two that he'll throw in kind of in the mix while we're writing. And then, yeah, we start to realize we have a record and we start demoing and everybody's kind of doing their thing remotely. And then, we'll try to get together and track in groups. So yeah, it's like a slow process that we kind of think a lot about. Um, Sort of halfway through this one, sort of through the writing process and the tracking process, like Joel and I had this conversation about how we kind of figured out what the album is that, we can be really dark and really heavy and moody, but there always has to be sort of like a ray of hope within each song, even if that's just a single note or a single, phrase or whatever. Um, so that kind of helped us kind of hone the whole album from start to finish.
Hell yeah. How long did Let the Light In take you guys to write?
Well, this one took a while, so we were about halfway done tracking. We had finished drums, bass, and some guitars, and our drummer left the band. Um, so then we shifted from Justin, who had already tracked bass. He's the bass player, was the bass player in the band. Now I'm the bass player, and he moved over to drums. So it was sort of a complicated process of like not starting over, but feeling like we started over, and basically feels like we recorded the album twice. Um, so yeah, it feels like we were able to like really focus on every detail because we had to go through the whole process like we did. So I think it ultimately made for a stronger record, which I'm actually pretty stoked on.
Hell yeah. I'm hoping a lot of people are stoked on it because I think obviously I think it's a great fucking album.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
Pre-order my stuff. I'm ready to like rock
Cool.
and roll. Comes out
Oh,
March 14th.
I should know that. March 14th sounds right.
Yep, it for sure is. I
Okay,
just checked
cool.
it before you got on.
Thank you. My fact checker.
Yeah, well, I make the mistake of like, I check so much stuff that like when it comes to dates, I get really confused. So
Yeah, I'm
like
terrible with dates.
I don't want to be confused and I want to
Yeah.
make sure I say the right thing. So like I got a little whiteboard right here
Oh,
next to
nice.
my shit
Perfect.
and I'm like, I'll write my notes down.
Perfect.
So is there a track on Let the Light In that stands out for you or that you connect with more than anything else?
Um, there's a bunch, but I think my first reaction would be chemicals, just because it's a little bit more out there and it's a little more of a journey for us and a little bit outside of our box. That was a really fun one to kind of workshop and figure out what it was going to be. Um,
That
yeah, like the drum patterns in that are something that I just would have never thought of. And Justin, like he just came in. We had like 2 days to do drums before he flew out, and that was just something he just kind of like threw out there. He's like, "What do you think of this?" It was like, "That is fucking cool, man." So just like that, the little unexpected stuff we found in that song really make me like it a lot.
That's really cool. I was actually listening to that one again right as you were like getting on. I'm
Nice.
like, all right.
Yeah, dude. From the
Um,
beginning, I was like, "This is the one everybody's gonna dig. I know it. I can feel it." And the guys were like, "I don't know if this is the one, man." But then, yeah, the feedback's been really good on that one. So
hell yeah. Well, and you never know, especially with
you
when it
never
comes
know.
to the public, dude.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the whole band's like, man, this song is our single, and everyone
Yep.
else is like, man, why don't you do this one? Because
Uh
it's
huh.
they're like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. 100%.
Like shit. Uh what what uh what area are you looking to hit like when you guys go out on tour?
um. Well, we're doing a tour with Earthside that starts in Boston, goes up through Canada, comes down to Detroit, through Ohio, Chicago, and then down all the way down to Florida, and then back up the East Coast, back up to Baltimore and Brooklyn. So I'm really excited about it. We haven't been on tour. We basically took last year off. So I'm just excited to be out in a van and playing shows every night. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, being on the road. Well, I
Hmm.
know, you guys are here February 28th.
Yeah.
Um, for all of you out there, it's Louisville, Kentucky, Portal, February 28th. Portal, I said, is one of my favorite venues, and one of the reason is like the people who own it and run it are they're musicians themselves,
Hmm.
so they like understand everything. They've got a great sound system. Um, Backstage, like you guys have the band has their like green room, and then behind the green room there is a there's art all over the place. I think you guys should be coming into the Create and Destroy display, which
Okay.
is it's all focused around like skate culture.
Mhm. Oh, cool.
So like Chad Muska's got some art. I think Tim Armstrong's supposed to have some art, like a bunch
Interesting.
of like, yeah, it's some really cool like stuff happening there. There's also um, a record store back there,
Oh, wow.
Amplified. Athena's like crushing it with Amplified. It's all small label and DIY stuff that she curates herself, so no like major label stuff will ever step foot in there.
Cool.
Um, And then
That's
there's a
exciting.
tattoo shop, recording studio.
What?
There's trading card games place back there. Like, yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
super.
I'm super excited. Yeah, we're playing with M. Blair. Do you know those guys?
I do. I don't. No, I don't.
I'm excited to see them. They're dudes from other bands. I'm trying to think of what bands they're in, but yeah,
Of
I'm
course,
stoked. Should be a good show.
I think everyone's dudes from other bands, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to
Like,
remember what bands, but yeah, Mock Orange, Fairy Ring, the drummer of Hum was in the band before he died.
oh,
Should be cool. I'm stoked.
hold
Yeah,
on. Who from Fairy Ring is in there?
I don't know.
I bet it's Alex.
Looking at their Bandcamp now, I'll tell you if it has their
Alex Wall.
names. I don't see their names. But yeah, should be. I mean, that adding that cool venue to the show is going to make it even cooler. Like we added that one after the tour. Earthside's not doing that show with us.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm stoked. That'll be good.
Well,
Love Louisville.
oh, yeah. Me too. It's a
How
good
long you been
place to.
there?
Uh, this time I gotta think 14, 15 years.
Okay, cool. You're a local now.
I am now. Yeah. Um, I grew up in Detroit, and it was like
Hmm.
I'm always like, oh, I love Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I like being from Detroit. I like living in Louisville.
Hmm. When was the last time you made it up to Detroit? It's like feels so different now.
I was just there maybe a month and a half ago.
Does it feel very different to you too?
Uh, like very different from when I was a kid for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I go up there so much, like
Oh,
I
you do?
watched
Okay.
the change. So it's
Gotcha. You have
yeah,
family
like
up there or something?
yeah.
Got it.
My sister, nieces, and nephews. My mom's up there, and then my best friend, dude. We've been friends for 40 years. So like I
Awesome.
just talked to him this morning. I go up and I stay with them all the time, and he's like, let's go drink. And
Yeah. Good place to drink.
yeah, I don't drink anymore. So I'm
Oh, okay. So
like I'll drive.
yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to take you drinking because you'll drive home.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, dude, you got he misses the days when we would go drink because it was
Of
those,
course.
those nights you're up till 5 in the morning and
Hmm.
sitting at the kitchen table singing songs and
Yeah.
talking music and memories and man, I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. And as you hit that age where it's like not a
Yeah.
hangover,
Hmm.
the
Yep. Got to
last
find the
hangover,
balance.
dude, and that last hangover I had, I remember having was probably like 5 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. There's
not
definitely
anymore.
certain stuff I won't drink anymore. Certain, times I won't stay out until. You got to have limits at a certain age.
Yeah. You ever had the Chicago handshake?
What is that?
Oh, it's like, I think, and if I get this wrong, I'm sorry, Chicago.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's
Chicago.
a shot of Malort
Oh
and
God.
what's the fucking beer? They've got like a local,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. The Malort dude. Oof.
oh
Yeah. I don't.
yeah.
I don't. I don't think I'm going to do that next time in Chicago. Sorry, guys.
No. But now that you said that, everyone's going to be like, you've got to do it. Like,
Exactly.
that's son of a bitch. Was it Sterling beer? I don't know. Something starts with an S anyway.
I don't remember.
It's not an old Milwaukee though.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So, you guys to me are super new, the band.
Hmm.
I'm I'm kind of bummed that I haven't got into you earlier, but I'm glad that I at least know you
I'm
now.
glad you found us now. Yeah, exactly.
What was the catalyst for the band like starting?
Um, I just wanted to write some heavy music. I hadn't been doing it in a while, and I felt like I could do it right now in a way that I maybe wasn't able to do in my 20s. And yeah, I just wanted to like hang out with a couple friends and make like heavy riffs, and that was kind of the impetus of it. Like I wanted to start playing shows again. I wanted to write the heaviest goddamn riffs I could write, and yeah, and try to find something different in there that was like the idea of the juxtaposition of like the soft vocals against the super heavy music.
Yeah.
That was kind of my in. And then yeah, I've been playing with Duncan a little bit, and then Justin had just moved up from Denver to New York. I was like, hey man, he's a drummer. He plays in Caspian now, but at the time it's like, hey man, you want to come play bass with us? And he's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And we just kind of started getting together on weekends, and here we are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remind me of uh like parts of the songs remind me of spotlights.
Hmm.
And it's that you said that, the those lower vocals
Hmm.
against the heavier music. And I think
Yeah,
I
we love.
really, I
Yeah,
fucking love it.
we love spotlights. So Joel and Mike, who are now in Psalm, they're our guitar players. Their old band Drift Off was on tour with Spotlights, and that was the first time we had heard like met. I think it was the first time we met them. But yeah, and I was doing front of house for Drift Off, which was the band that Mike and Joel were in, and so we became buds with Spotlights, and it was so funny. I was like telling them, I was like, guys, I have a band that sounds so much like this. And obviously,
Yeah.
like they've matured and changed, and we've matured and changed. But back in what would that have been like 2016 or 17? Like it was definitely like the same core elements, of
Yeah.
trying to like juxtapose the heavy with the soft. Um, so yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have been like kind of paralleling them since.
Yeah. Like and they've had a great trajectory.
Yeah,
Mario, Sarah, Chris, like
yeah,
I love all of those folks.
absolutely. Yeah,
They're always so kind
yeah, they're very
whenever
sweet people. Yeah,
for sure. I flew out to LA. They were playing with they did that run with Melvins and Mr. Bungle.
yeah, yeah. That looked
So
awesome.
I flew out to LA to see it at the Palladium because man, who doesn't want to catch that tour?
Yeah,
And
it's a good one.
Sarah's like, "Holy shit, what are you doing here? Can't miss it."
Yeah,
Uh
that's awesome.
yeah, it's great to see them like to see their fan base really grow and the touring, which I would assume you guys are probably going to be like right behind them
Yeah.
listening to what Let the Light In sounds like.
Hmm.
That would be a tour I want to see
Yeah, we got to do something. We've talked to them about doing it. It's just we haven't gotten the timing and stuff right. But one of these days we have to make it happen.
for sure.
Yeah.
Mario. Sarah, Chris,
What's up,
come
guys?
on, let's do this. Even if you guys only did like a little like 4 or 5 days,
Hmm.
like
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What bands have you toured with that have absolutely surprised you?
Oh, surprise me. That's a good question. Um, we did a US run with Catatonia, and the support act was Ghost, and I was not familiar with him. I don't know if you know his music.
I've
It's
like
like,
heard one or two songs,
yeah,
but
really like they are super cool people to hang out with every night. I was just surprised at how compelling it was live because I was like, it's cool, it's industrial, it's heavy, and I listened to it a
yeah,
little bit. I was like, this is cool, and then seeing it live, I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I just wasn't expecting it necessarily, but like it was, yeah, it was just it added like so much fun to the night every night. So that was probably the most recent surprise I had.
those are some of my favorites. You like listen, you're like, all right, this is cool, like I can dig it,
Yeah,
and then you see
exactly.
them live, and you're like,
Oh, this
oh
is fucking fun.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
freaking dope.
yeah.
Best venue you've toured?
Oh man, that's a great question. We might have to loop back to that one. I'll have to look it up. We played in Paris again with Catatonia. Oh, what was the name of the venue? I'm terrible with dates. I'm terrible with names, so I'm going to be slow with this stuff. Um,
That's all right.
but yeah, it was like this sold out theater. Probably one of the biggest shows we've ever played. Le Trinal, um, with
Okay.
Catatonia and Solsifere, and it was just like, yeah, it was like we were in this huge, like it felt like a cathedral. It's this theater with like multiple balcony seating. It was just like, what is happening? This is crazy.
It kind of sounds like La Bataclan.
It's like what?
La Bataclan. I think that's how it's said.
Oh, I'm not
It's
sure.
another venue in Paris.
Oh, okay.
So I only know it because that's the venue that Eagles of Death Metal were playing when the guy came in and
Oh,
shot it
yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we not have any more fucking shootings
Dude,
like that?
please not.
Like especially at like music at shows, like where
Anywhere
they're
really would be nice.
correct. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like someone, don't like someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kick their ass,
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Or just go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Go watch a movie.
please. Yeah, something, anything. Obviously with when those things happen, I always feel like it's a lot deeper than just I'm pissed off and I need to do something. It's like that, one of the biggest issues I think we have around the world is like the lack of mental health support.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot of confused people that don't know where to put their energy. And it's
Yeah.
sad, but it's ultimately terrible.
Yeah.
We got dark here already. That was quick. How many minutes? Less than 20.
19. Yeah.
Oh, buzzer ding.
I promise that's probably not the fastest that it's happened.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like,
It's pretty good,
fuck.
though.
I'm not trying to go for a world record with this shit, but I am a big mental health supporter. So,
Good.
you know, um, I'm fucked up myself as
We all are, man.
that's it. We all are.
Yeah, I
What?
listened to the episode you did with Kirk, and he was talking about how like trying to exercise and stop drinking and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, it resonates for sure. Like I've been trying to meditate and do supplements and trying to get more exercise and go for hikes and stuff. Like it's the only way to get through it. It's crazy
Yeah.
times.
Well, especially for all those people who live in the city. Like I just talked with this band, Scare, and Phil from Scare was saying the same thing. Like for him, it was the pandemic, everything locked down, and they're in, I think in Montreal, I think.
Mhm.
Um, and he's like, I'm locked in my room, and this is where I work, and this is where I play music, and I can't do anything. So I just started going out and going on hikes, and man, I
Oh, it's a game
watched it.
changer.
Yeah, watch it change the mindset.
Yeah, I mean that's like my whole adult life. That's the thing that's kept me sane is just going out
Oh,
on
hold on.
hikes. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my phone started ringing, and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? I, I I always turn it on like DND before I get on, and I forgot
Oh yeah, I forgot to. Let me do that.
because that shit happens, and then
Hmm.
like chemicals was playing, and I'm like, oh shit, where's it coming from? I'm looking on my phone, like it's not there. It's find the tab where it's playing on the
Hmm.
computer, pause it, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I like the song, but I'm trying to do something here.
Other stuff to do.
Yeah. So, so what kind of things do you do to keep your like mental health in order?
Yeah, yeah. So same, yeah. I mean, basically, my entire adult life it's been hiking. But when I'm like, what is going on? Why am I not feeling good? It's like, oh, I haven't gone for a hike in like a week. That's what it is. Yeah. So I haven't been very successful this winter, but usually yeah, I try to go out for an hour or two a week at least, a couple of days a week.
Right
Just
on.
carve out that time because it's really the only thing that keeps me from going insane. I think sometimes. Um, yeah, lately just been trying to meditate more and you know, focus on getting sleep at night and normal hours, and that's sort of been helping a lot.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people really understand how much like sleep and um, being out in nature without your phone,
Yeah, exactly.
which is that's the important thing.
It's
Make sure
hard,
you
man. It's hard because everybody needs something from you right now. I've been trying to do a thing where it's like an hour before bed. I'm not looking at my phone. If I'm going to go out,
yeah.
yeah, go for a hike or something. I'm not going to bring my phone, or I'm going to turn it on do not disturb or something. No podcasts, no music, no nothing. Just like be alone in your head for an hour. I think is something we just don't do enough of anymore.
No, we're constantly connected, and
Yeah.
I noticed that if I'm too connected through the week, by the end of the week,
Oh,
I'm
totally
really
burnt.
struggling.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's tough because like it's such a good time to be alive because we are also connected. Like we couldn't have had this conversation 10 years ago, definitely not 20 years ago,
Definitely not. Yeah.
so it's like there's like a real upside to it, but then there's also you just have to be cognizant of the bad side, the dark sides, and try to like minimize that. I think
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just hard,
it's
because
real
like you
hard.
said, everyone needs something right now.
Yeah.
And so in my day job, I am afraid that if I don't have my phone,
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
miss something. It's like shit,
Yep.
I gotta make money so I can do these other things. And
Hmm. Yep.
you know, fuck.
Yep.
S- Sucks being old.
Yeah, I think the hour before bed, that's my new one. Some nights are better than others, but like I feel like the nights I don't look at my phone for an hour before bed, I'm actually able to go to sleep a lot more easily.
Mm. I could totally see that.
Yeah,
What do I do? My routine is my phone goes on the charger 9 o'clock.
that's good.
I lay down, I watch about 30 minutes of TV, turn it
Hmm.
off, put my little mask on, and I'm going to sleep.
That's good. So you're doing pretty well with it. Not drinking
Try to.
and good night habits, man. You got it figured out.
Yeah. My morning habits fucking suck though, and
Hmm.
that's what I need to get in order because I feel like, same thing. As soon as I wake up, I'm like, grab my
Yep.
phone. Okay. No missed calls, no
Right.
texts. What's
What
my
do I have to
email look
do?
like?
Yeah. Yep.
I need like 30 minutes before, in the
Yeah.
morning before I do that. It probably helped me a
Yep.
lot too.
Yeah, man. I've been trying again with mostly successful, getting up at like 6:30, like a half an hour before anyone else wakes up, stretch a little bit. I've been trying to not pound coffee, so just like have like half a cup of coffee, do some stretching, look at my phone a little bit, but not like not sending anything, not doing anything, just like
Yeah,
try to ease into the day. And again, some days are better than others, but I think at least trying is probably a good thing.
for sure. And it's funny you mentioned coffee. I quit. I'm drinking coffee again now, but I guess the probably November, December of 23, I noticed like my stress levels are really high. So I
Hmm.
started looking at ways to like reduce it. And like the first thing come up is like
Yeah.
caffeine.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, told my wife, I'm like, hey, I know I've got a lot going on right now, but I think I'm gonna like cut the coffee out and get my life back in order. She goes, I don't think that's smart. Like, yeah, like please don't. I'm like, no, I'm going to. And it took 3 or 4 days, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
by like day four, my brain was a lot clearer.
Hmm.
I had more energy. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh man, I feel so much better. And she's like, really?
Yeah,
Hell, hell yeah.
it's crazy, man. Yeah, because like I was drinking, so we're still kind of going through it, but we went through a move to a new house. It was just a super stressful time, and I was up to like 6 or 7 cups of coffee, including shots of espresso. And it's
Oof.
just not good because
No.
every day you're just trying to get back to that place. And you can't get there. And recently I was like, I'm just going to get back to like, let's see how low I can get. And right now I'm on 2 cups, and sometimes I don't finish the second cup. And it's like, I have so much more energy. I'm so much more clear headed. How is that possible?
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, caffeine's crazy. That is a
Well,
crazy drug.
that's it. It is a drug. I mean, what they say that it works off of your fight or flight senses.
Right. That makes
So
sense.
obviously, you drink some caffeine and you heart rate goes up and everything
Hmm.
starts like peaking and you're like, I'm gonna go, 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 go. And after a while, you're like, fuck, I need to drink like 2 pots today
Yeah.
to get me through.
Just to
Shit,
get
if
out of
I'm
yeah,
yeah, like if I'm drinking that much, like I may as well just be doing cocaine. What's
right.
going on here?
Exactly.
Like fuck.
Yep.
What with this upcoming tour,
Hmm.
do you have any surprises for those who have seen you before that will see you again this time?
Well, we're playing some new songs. I think that's probably it for right now. We're kind of still figuring out the touring stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're all about our mood and our vibe, and you know, having a cool light show and giving people something to sort of engage with outside of just us rocking out.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, it should be good. Our live show is pretty fun. We like it a lot. We're pretty proud of it. Our drummer Justin programs all the lights and runs everything from stage. So like we try to keep stuff pretty DIY and sort of self sufficient. So yeah, it's fun for us. I
Yeah,
think
that'll be
people dig it.
cool.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. I wanted to see you guys before, but now I'm like, all right, now I'm really fucking into this.
Cool.
Especially I was I don't know, we were at one of the venues this weekend and the lights were cool, but I was in this bad spot. So like when it would come through, it'd get me
Hmm.
dead in my eyes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah. We talk a lot about lights and we have lots of arguments about it. Like I feel like there's a sweet spot where it's like lights are cool, engagement is cool, but yeah, you don't want to be the band that you can't even look at the stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to be that band. I guess for some music that probably really works well, but I don't want to be doing that to people.
Yeah. Now there were some really cool light shows this weekend. There are some really cool light shows, going to
Absolutely. Yeah.
shows.
Yep.
And there's definitely those people where you're like, holy shit, like turn that turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't need a spotlight in my face.
Right. But of course, then I think of like Meshuggah, where it's like blinding lights. It's like, well, that for them, they should do that.
Yeah, but it's only like,
Yeah.
real quick, not like a constant. And their live show is Jesus.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. There's
freaking
something else.
bonkers.
Yes.
Yeah. That tour, they're doing that. They're going out with Carcass and Cannibal Corpse. And
Are they? I didn't see that. Is that US?
oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Yep. He's like, oh shit, I need to check dates now.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Yeah,
like while during conversation, I got to just pull stuff up so I can see
for
what's going
sure.
on.
No, totally good.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're
There it is. Yeah.
coming
Sick.
up, like they're in Detroit, I think, March 31st. Uh, so you guys should be home.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. I'll check. I'll see if I can do the New York show.
Oh yeah.
I've still never seen them live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit, my cat. She just like jumped and I'm like, what the hell? I was petting her like she's down here.
What's up, kitty?
Hey. This is like her routine. It's like, okay, you're talking. I'm gonna lay
Yeah.
down
Time to
right next to
chill.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just fed her, so she's like fat and happy.
Ready to chill. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't seen Meshuggah yet.
I know. Me too. Yeah. I don't know. I just need to do it.
But yeah, I just saw them. They played Louder Than Life 2 years ago, maybe.
Hmm.
I was just enthralled with their set.
Yeah. I mean, dude, they're a singular band.
Yeah. It was them and Body Count.
Oh, nice.
Like those two bands is the most looking forward to seeing. And now
Yeah.
I'm like, I cannot miss Meshuggah when they hit the road. And like Cannibal Corpse. I fucking
Hmm.
love those dudes.
Yep.
Uh,
Cool. Yeah, it'll be quite a tour.
hell yeah. Amplified, that record store I was telling you about,
Hmm.
she's got a hot sauce. It's like I don't remember what pepper's in it, but it's got like a blood orange flavor, so it's spicy and kind of sweet. Like,
Sounds good.
yeah. Um, God, I like hot sauce too,
Yeah, me too. Big fan.
for sure. You guys are not going out to Vegas this run or out west on this run. You're just doing
No,
kind
we're
of
not.
the
Yeah, sort of Midwest down to Florida and then back up the East Coast.
yeah.
But it'll be good.
That'll be a cool run though.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Uh, yeah. And you guys you'll get a little bit of the cold and then
Hmm.
hopefully
We have
it's
we have
not
2 days off in Florida, which we're very excited to hit the beach down there.
unless it's snowing like it did last
Right.
week.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Like,
hoping for no snow.
yeah.
Hoping to escape the snow.
You're gonna get there and it's like today it's 27
Yeah,
degrees in
of
Key
course it will be.
West.
Yep.
Like what the hell's going on? I was I was looking forward to Vegas for that reason, like a little break from the
Yeah.
cold and
Hmm. Cold
and
there
it
too.
was yeah, it was a little like during the day it was like, oh, t-shirt weather, and at night you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
I should have brought
Yep.
more clothes,
Yep.
which was wild. Flying home yesterday, they're like, hey, I know we're leaving. It's currently 72 in Louisville, and I'm like, won't be when I get home, motherfucker. You son of a bitch.
Yep.
What is in your years of like playing music, what's been some
Uh-uh.
of the bands that you've played with that you never thought you would have a chance to play with?
Um, well, again, Catatonia comes to mind. That's a band that I've always loved them. And it was like always a band that I wanted to tour with, but I didn't ever see a way that it would happen. And then we got to tour with them twice, in Europe and then again in the US. And I was just, it's awesome. It's like a bucket list item to tour with like these legends, and they're
Yeah.
super nice. And we got to hang out with them, and yeah, just that's like a cool thing to have.
Yeah, it makes, especially when they're cool, it
Yeah,
makes it so much better
yeah,
because, that the old adage is like, don't meet your heroes because you're going to be disappointed. But
yeah. But I mean, I like so they've been doing it a long time. So like at first, of course, they have their own space, they're doing their own thing. But then you talk to them, and they once they realize that you're like also nice people, then they kind of open up a little bit more. And by the end, it was just great. It was just to have those guys just bullshitting with us and having some drinks and all that stuff. It's like cool, very cool.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's always cool. Any plans to tour with them again in the future?
I mean, we would love to, yeah, if they ask us, but we got two, so it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I think there's not often that bands go out more than
Yeah,
once together, and
yeah,
it's a lot less more than twice together.
yep. Unless you're like, old buds or whatever. But yeah, yeah, of course. Catatonia would love to go out with them again.
Yeah. Mm, that's awesome. Is there like from touring with Catatonia, is there a
Mhm.
favorite like story that like, oh, this happened and it was fucking hilarious?
Not really. I wouldn't say they're hilarious guys.
Nah,
um, I mean, the thing I could say about them is like they got their green room, like they would like just jam music and like get pumped up before they play. And it's just crazy to see. Like I wouldn't have expected that, but like listening to all kinds of different music, and they kind of got us going on it. So like we went out and got like LED lights that we'd string up in our green room, and we got a little boom box so we could party too, and then like kind of go back and forth between these like little disco parties, listening to crazy music. So I mean, it's like old guy rock stuff, but it was fun to have like the green room be like kind of a party vibe. You know what I mean?
that's funny. Old
Yeah.
guy rock stuff. You guys are out there with like Led Zeppelin. Fucking,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
that's good shit. Who were some of those bands early on that like really got you started into music?
How early are we going? Where do you want? What age? Because I could go on forever.
Oh, I know, me too. As early as you want to go.
All right, I'll start pretty early on. It was like Michael Jackson. I thought that was cool. By the time I hit like high school, probably like Nine Inch Nails was a big moment. I really liked them. I thought that was cool stuff. Like a little bit younger, maybe Stone Temple Pilots coming out as like maybe I'm misremembering that because I still like them, but like their trajectory has always been like a really cool, uh, cool catalog of music. Black Sabbath
Yeah.
was a big moment. And then just start to get into metal and heavier stuff like that. When I went to college in Boston, that's when I found like the Hydra Head stuff. I started interning there, so like seeing Isis and Cave In, Scissor Fight, even like Piebald and stuff like that was just like a. That was when it was like, oh, you can actually go do this,
Yeah.
and that was a pretty big moment. Being able to like be in and out of those circles and like guys going on tour, and it's like, wait, that guy that right there in the room is going on tour next week. Um, yeah, I think those are probably the big ones that kind of like got the trajectory going.
Oh yeah, you start seeing those local guys like going out and
Yeah.
like, oh shit, they're going on tour. That means like that's a possibility for me too.
Yep. And like seeing their records in the record stores, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
so yeah.
that's
And
super
I'll throw
fucking.
Fear Factory out there too because that was a big thing in high school. Though. Like I like those guys. That's good stuff.
Oof. Well, so they're working on new music.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll
Wonder,
see.
yeah, we'll see what that's like.
I'm going to be open minded to it. I've always tried to give bands the benefit of the doubt. They're trying.
Yeah,
So
well, and Dino really is a fantastic guitar player. So
like no other.
yeah,
Yep. And that new singer seems like he's got pipes and he knows what he's doing. We'll see if he can write some melodies. I hope he can
for
because
sure.
the
Yeah,
melody, like people say that Bert can't sing as strong anymore, but it was the melodies that made Fear Factory so interesting. So if
right.
they can capture that again or like expand on it, then maybe they got something. We'll see.
We'll see for sure. It was really cool seeing Dino go out on tour with Soulfly.
Yeah, yeah. Joel, our guitar player, said he saw that tour in like Shreveport, I think he said. Somewhere
Okay.
down there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they played here probably it was probably one of the last shows at that venue.
Uh-huh.
And that it was Diamonds Billiards or something.
Hmm.
It was so weird. They had like shows lined up for like 3 months and then they had a show and I don't remember what show it was, but like literally show and the next day they're like, no more shows. We're
Hmm.
done. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And they had like they were I don't feel like they were struggling at all. I feel like they always had like consistently good shows, like
Uh-huh.
obviously Soulfly and Cannibal Corpse and a lot of um a lot of those touring bands that aren't, 900 or 1,000 seat,
Sure.
would play there and shit, it was always packed.
Hmm.
So,
Weird.
so weird. Who's the favorite band that you've seen live?
Oh man. I mean, it's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to say Stone Temple Pilots because I got to see them when I was like 15 before
Okay.
Scott died, and they were awesome. They had
It
these
was a
fucking
long time
giant,
before.
giant lava lamps on either side of the stage. They like did a like an unplugged set, and during their set, so they brought out the couches and the rocking chair, and I don't know. When I was 15, that shit blew me away.
Yeah, that was really cool. But I think Scott, in himself, not even the rest of the band, was so like charismatic,
Yeah,
being on stage like no other.
yeah. I think they keep coming up because I went through like a phase with them. I guess it was probably this summer where I was just watching a bunch of live videos of them and just being like, they were something else, man. They really like. I don't think I knew it at the time, and I don't think I listened to them that much throughout my 20s or 30s. But now I'm like, there's something about that band. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, maybe it's just speaking to the charisma of Scott. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they were very different from like everything else that went on at the time. Like I know they were lumped in with all the alternative stuff,
Right?
but you listen to any Stone Temple Pilots album or song and you're like, oh, that is for sure who that is. No,
Yeah, 100%.
no,
Yeah.
no questions. I never, I don't know that I listened to the uh, Chester stuff with them.
Yeah. Uh, Live, he was really good. I don't think I ever listened. Did they record stuff with him? If
Yeah,
they have, I didn't listen to it. Okay. Well, all right. But again, like, so YouTube was like feeding me more Stone Temple Pilots videos with him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna watch it. And I was like, oh shit, he's actually like same, like different charisma, but like he
Yeah.
had something too, man. He was, you know, I don't think I realized it at the time when I was younger either, but like seeing the videos now, like that motherfucker can sing. He's like interacting with the audience. He's like another next
Yeah.
level guy.
It's so crazy. I think, of course, there are a few bands that they kind of slide through that, and end up in that stratosphere, like the
Yeah.
band to that level that can't translate what they do in the studio live.
Hmm.
And then there are a lot of people, Scott Chester, Eddie Vedder,
Yeah, for
that
sure.
you look at it and it's like, man, they're performers, they're
Yeah.
entertainers. They, especially in that era, that early '90s era,
Yep.
sounds like you and I grew up about the same time.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Soundgarden's another one. Chris Cornell. I watch videos of him now. I'm just like, what the fuck?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
unbelievable talent.
God, we just saw, there's this dude, his name's Jason Walker. I think he plays with Gene Simmons. He's
Hmm.
part of Gene's like touring band. And he put some guys together and they did Bad Motor Finger in its
Oh,
entirety
that's
Sunday
awesome.
night.
That's sick. I
And
love it.
they fucking crushed it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
There's some riffs on that album. Holy moly.
uh, yeah, that like, I was never a real big like Soundgarden fan, but
Yeah.
you hear what they have. It's they were very unique. Like every album, you can you can tell like what era they
Yeah. Yeah.
were in,
And also
you
to your
know?
point, you throw on Soundgarden, it's like, I know who this is,
Yeah.
you know, whether you like it or not. It's like, this is a band that made their own sound from the drums, bass, guitar, vocals. It's everything. You could pick it up and be like, oh, that's that guy, which
Yep.
is like, it's pretty cool. Not a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of people
super.
who can do that.
No, it really isn't. Like it's so hard, and I feel like you've got bands who they put out the same album time after time after
Mm-hmm.
time. AC/DC. They've made
Mm-hmm.
a career on the same stuff, and
Yep.
no slight, no disrespect to
No.
them, but you flip it over and look at like Deftones.
Mm-hmm.
Every album is different,
Yep.
and like when any song comes on, you're like, oh, I know that came off of, Gore or White Pony
Yeah, it's
or the
true.
self-titled.
Yep.
Like it's all super, super cool. And I feel like I was listening to that your album from 22, and I feel like you guys have something similar. Like the sounds are similar, but Let the
Mm-hmm.
Light In is different enough from that where you're like, oh, I know
Yeah.
that is, an album by itself.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's something I've been thinking about because, obviously we wrapped up this one and we're starting to talk about it with people, and I'm starting to think about like, yeah, what are the sonics going to be on the next record? And it's like it's definitely something you have to have like an approach to, or else, yeah, because we're all the same people doing the same shit, so it could very easily just continue to sound the same. It's like, what can you do to change the sonics up? You know what I mean? And like, obviously, not comparing us to those bands, but like, obviously, those were people that spent a lot of time thinking about those things and like how to get themselves out of that box and into something else and like keep moving. It's cool.
Yeah. But so spotlights with that last album,
Mm-hmm.
Alchemy for the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah, it's a
talking
step.
with
Yeah,
Oh
go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was
Definitely a
talking
step for
with
them.
hell yeah. And it's like, dude, it's so solid, like such a great album.
Mm-hmm.
But talking with Chris and Mario, like, they're both like, oh yeah, we like uh definitely made sure we listen to like a bunch of other stuff that we don't typically
Mm-hmm.
listen to help, get those other influences and
Yeah.
bring it. And
I also think that the covers and stuff they did during the pandemic, I think that probably helped them kind of like look at their sound a little bit differently in a cool way.
oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just, nothing from speaking to them or anything. It's just like, that's kind of the thing. I'm like, I bet Mario and Sarah and Chris like working on these other kinds of songs. They're like, oh shit, we can do this too. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool.
I could absolutely see that. I mean, of course the pandemic, you guys, none of the bands could be out there like touring and doing shit. So
Hmm.
it's like,
Yep,
what do we do? We can either give up or we can, look internally and go,
for
okay,
sure.
what's the next step for us? And
Yep.
you know, to watch them with, from Titles to Alchemy, like you can see a transition album to album,
Yep.
a little
Agreed.
slight, and then Alchemy's kind of way out there.
Hmm.
Say Alchemy and oh shit, a 2019 album.
Yeah.
It's Love and Decay.
Yep. Yep.
Love and Decay for a long time was like my favorite album. Like I'd come home and just throw it on the record player and
It's a good
throw
one
some
too.
headphones on. Oh man, all of them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all their records. Yeah, I like all these records. These are good records.
Yeah,
It's funny, man. I can't listen to this stuff too much to what because what we were talking about earlier, how there is like a similarity. I was
that
thinking about this the other day. Like, there's certain bands that I really like that I can't listen to because I don't want to like in 6 months be like, oh fuck, that's a Spotlights riff I
yeah,
have in this song. You know what I mean? Or like, shit, this is a Holy Fawn riff. I can't do it. So like, I try to be mindful of like not listening to stuff that, like that we're trying to make too much.
yeah. That's really a good point because you don't. I guess you're always kind of like influenced. You hear that riff and you're like, oh shit, that's a really cool riff, and you
And
don't
then it
think
just
about
seeps
it.
in. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
who
So
was
yeah,
it? I was talking to someone else and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like I came and they're like, I start playing this riff and he's like, oh, change this, change that. And we're like, oh, cool. Holy shit, that's like this band.
hmm,
Okay, that song's out. We gotta
exactly. Yep. You gotta be careful of
like son of a bitch.
that. Hmm.
Do you, have you as you go in to write anything for some, have you listened, like looked externally and go, okay, I want to listen to some pop at this time and see how it influences me or
it's
anything like
never
that?
it's never intentional, I don't think, but like I listen to a lot of different stuff and sometimes I'll hear something and be like, oh, that's a cool melody, or like I want to kind of keep that kind of thing in mind, or like the mood of that is like something I want to try to get to. Like, how are they doing that? And I'll sit and figure it out and be like, oh, if I do something like that, but let's say down here, and then write more stuff with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I get inspiration from stuff all the time for sure.
that's fucking cool. So I think it's really cool when bands look outside of um
Yeah.
their respective genre,
I'm
right?
not saying
So
we're reinventing the wheel, but I really try to not do the stuff that like our peers do. You know what I mean? Like inevitably it
yeah,
sounds similar because it is the same genre, but yeah, I'm always trying to like listen outside of what the kind of music we make is.
hell yeah. That's a that's a really good way to look at it. And I never thought about that till I was, talking with the Spotlights folks about that.
Mm-hmm.
To hear that is like, oh, that's really cool because you can see like obviously they went, you know, I don't want to say a very different direction, but there are a lot of new like influences on
Yeah.
Alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's obviously it did really well for him. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, Alchemy for the Dead was one of it was probably their most well received album,
Mm.
like globally.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I feel like, eh,
It's always good when the newest thing people like the most.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they should, I guess,
They
right?
should. You hope so. You hope so.
Every time. What kind of vinyl variants do we have for Let the Light In?
Oh man, you're giving me the hard questions.
Every time. That's what I'm here for.
Let's see. I'll look it up.
Next time I'm putting you on an electric chair. So if you don't know the answer, go like,
Let's
just a
see.
little maybe the neck zapper like my dog has.
There's some cool ones. They went with some weird colors that I think actually turned out pretty cool. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. So it's like
Dude,
a
Pelagic, I feel like
crazy
the,
vinyl colors.
all the time they do such a great job with that.
Yep. So it looks like there's a gold. Hmm.
There's
I'm
some
not.
gold, some black.
Yeah, gold, black. That's not right. Let's go. Do you
maybe
edit this
one.
or is it just dead noise in here?
I mean, it's just going to be dead noise in here.
Okay, all right. So we got like a green marble, a gold, a black. That's about it, I think.
Okay.
There's a clear with a black haze and then a
All right.
clear. They look good.
Hell yeah. Have you seen the uh what do they call? I think they're called ghostly vinyls. It's like, it's a marbled black,
Mm.
but the that white marbling is they're little ghost faces throughout it.
Oh, that's cool.
Super cool.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't
They
think I've
do
seen it.
like it's vinyl has come a long way from when we were
Hmm.
kids.
Yep.
I think that, the start to get like outside of that traditional black for me was like Sub Pop.
Hmm.
Um, and now it went from just multiple colors to doing all this crazy shit. I just got one from Fairy Ring actually that
Hmm.
is liquid filled.
Oh, whoa. The actual record or the
Yeah,
tape? What? Because I've
yeah.
seen liquid filled like jackets, but the actual record is liquid. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, dude, it is. It's like I think what they do is they take like two records and they sandwich them together and
Hmm.
then they inject the liquid between them.
Hmm.
Buddy goes, "How's it sound?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm afraid to put it on the record
Yeah,
player."
exactly, right? It's gonna spill all over the record player.
Like,
And how much did that cost?
uh, I got a hell of a deal on it.
Okay, good.
It was an $80 record.
Okay. Damn. That's cool though. I like that. You gotta
Yeah,
think outside of the box, be creative with stuff like that.
I'm sure those dudes spent quite a bit to
Yeah.
get those made,
Hmm.
and they only did. I mean, I'm just kind of guessing that they only did about 20 of those records.
Oh wow. Damn.
Yeah,
That's cool that you have it.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
super stoked. How's that relationship for you guys with Pelagic? I feel like every band that I've spoke with that is a part of them hasn't like has had such a great experience with them.
Yeah, we've been really happy. They've really helped us grow over the past few years. So yeah, it's been great.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
like the way the records look, it's like top notch, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that being associated with Pelagic, just that association, not including the
Hmm.
like promotion that they've done, do you think that's brought you quite a few new fans?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people that just check out whatever that label puts out, which has been super helpful for us. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's been helpful to help us grow in Europe too, which it's hard to break in over there if you don't have somebody over there kind of working for you.
right.
Um, so yeah, it's been nice to have like a home base over there.
How how have you seen that like the crowd at shows like Europe, like pre-Pelagic to the Pelagic
So
days?
our first tour over there was after we put out stuff with Pelagic. So
Oh, okay.
there was no before.
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes it pretty easy
we
then.
put out our first record ourselves in 2018, and then pandemic happened, and we did an EP, and that was the first thing we did with Mike and Joel on guitar as well. Because we added them just to tour, and like while we were on tour in the US, it was like I think this is the band. Like we just brought them to just like have some extra guitars going, but it was like holy shit, we sound fucking awesome with these guys. And then we did an EP with Pelagic, and we've been with them since what is that 2020? So
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So you guys are 5 years into that relationship.
mm-hmm.
Wow. So this is second full length?
This is our third full length. The first one we put out ourselves.
Okay. Third full length and one EP.
Mm-hmm. Two. We have a EP of Depeche Mode songs that we did too. So I don't know if a covers EP counts, but
It counts. Not originals, but whatever. How was
mm,
that like doing those Depeche Mode songs?
dude, so fun. That was one of those things where so the pandemic happened, and to talk about Catatonia again, we were supposed to support the record to tour with Catatonia and Solstifier, and then that tour got pushed a year back because of the pandemic. So we had finished our record, it was pressed, it was ready to go, and I'm just sitting here staring at boxes of records, being like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I don't know what happened. I kind of just like was playing, listening to Depeche Mode. I was like, "How do these songs go?" And just figuring them out, and just like this is cool. Like I could make these like riff and like kind of go. And so like I picked like four of them, I think, four or five, and sent them to Mike, our guitar player. And he's like, yeah, we could do something with this, man. So I was like, you sure? So then I dropped it in the band Slack, and everybody's like, yeah, this is cool. Like let's do something with it. And then we have a buddy who runs a label out in LA. We'll put it out, and it's like just kind of something to cool, unexpected, just kind of keep us busy and keep us thinking creatively, you know?
Yeah. Well, and Depeche Mode is one of those bands that
Yeah,
like, great songs, fantastic fucking songs.
that was the thing. Like it felt like I've said this before, but like a master class in songwriting, just learning everything and how they structure stuff, and just like, oh, this is why. Like that's another. I mean, I love them. You know, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was obsessed with them. Um, and then yeah, I didn't listen to them for a while, and then kind of came back around. And like I said, pick up a guitar and was just like, this is yeah, master level songwriting.
That's fucking cool. God, it's funny when you're like, oh man, this is the band I want to kind of just listen to, and then you listen to it and you're like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna learn that.
Yeah, and it doesn't
And
happen often anymore because it takes time to figure it out. But I was just for whatever reason, I was just like I had it up my ass to be like, I'm gonna figure all these songs out.
hell yeah. You know, you learn a lot from how other people do that, as just
Yeah.
explained. Like, so
Yeah, I mean,
for all you
I
bands
feel
out
like doing
there,
those covers. Oh, sorry, but just I
I'll
feel like
just
doing those covers totally influenced how we wrote this new record because it
hell
was
yeah.
like how to piece parts together, how to have changes where you necessarily wouldn't put a change normally. Like Martin Gore as a songwriter does stuff like that all the time, where you're like, that note shouldn't be there, but it works. And so it became like, how do you find notes that don't work and try to stick those in the song, and it adds like another emotional level. So yeah, go
Hell
ahead and tell
yeah.
the bands what they need to know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, for all the bands out there who's like, oh, we don't ever want to learn covers. Like sometimes learning those covers is gonna,
Yeah.
teach you something new.
Yep. Totally.
Hmm. So are we gonna get a Depeche Mode cover on the road?
TBD.
Okay.
We did Policy of Truth on the last couple tours we did. And we put out a video. There's like a live video of us playing that. So I don't know. We'll see. We also did a Billie Eilish song.
Okay.
Um, so we've been talking about if we want to do a cover or not, because we only have like 45 minutes to play, and we have a bunch of new stuff we want to play. So we'll see. We're still talking about it.
Well, you'll have more time in Louisville.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Keep one in the pocket.
Yeah,
It'll be
that's a good
great.
point.
Okay. Will, I know you have stuff to do. I'm not going to keep you all day, so I greatly appreciate you coming and spending some time talking to me about the band and the upcoming tour, and of course, let the light in.
Oh, thank you, Tom. It's been awesome talking to you, and thanks again for making this podcast. It's a good listen.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, go and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you here in about 24 days.
Cool. You too, man. Yeah, make sure you send me your contact.
All right, I will, dude. I'll hit you
Cool.
up Instagram. All right.
Cool. Sounds good. Take care.
Yep. See ya.